Hi guys, today I'm back with another foundation review and we are talking about drugstore foundation, which is one of my favorite things to talk about. Today it is all about the Maybelline Dream Urban Cover. That's what we're calling it? Yes, full coverage protective makeup. As always, I will be showing you application, before and after, a flash photo test, show you how it looks midway through the day in some natural light, and then I will come back at the end of the day and we will see how it held up. This is not a first impression. I have worn this several times, so it is a full review. As always, there will be timestamps down below if you would like to skip ahead, and I will also have some shades that I am listed down below if you are looking to match yourself. I will also have a blog post of swatch comparisons of this next to popular shades and some skincare playlists if you are looking for recommendations for oily skin, or also some recommendations for things like powders, primers, etc. I always get that question, so I want to mention that it is linked down below, but let's go ahead and get started. So as I mentioned, this is a fairly new foundation from Maybelline. Historically, I've really loved the majority of Maybelline's products, really. I think they do lips and face so well, and one of the things they do really well in most of their lines is good shade ranges, at least when it comes to foundation. So not to start off on a low note, but that is kind of one of the first things that disappointed me about this foundation, is that it only comes in 16 shades. When you look at ranges like the Fit Me or the Superstay, such great shades in there. So disappointing to see that there's not as many shades in here. 16 is okay, but it definitely leaves some gaps. So that leads me to my next point, which is I have to mix two shades, and that is never my preference. That's what's taken me so long to getting around to review this. I was hoping to either get tanned enough to wear this shade or to lose enough tan to wear this, and it has not happened. So today I'm going to be wearing a combination of 310 Sun Beige and 330 Toffee, and I'll show you face swatches of it just so that you can get an idea of the jump between the two shades. Generally in Maybelline foundations, like when I was very fair, I would wear like a 312, 315 or 320 has been a good match for me in the past, and 330 has been one that I've worn, but it has been dark for me depending on the line. So this is the 310 Sun Beige, and this is the 330. So I think you can see there's a huge jump in between. I was really surprised to see there was no 315. I feel like that's a common shade, but it might just be because that's my shade. So I do have to mix. There's no getting around it. I wore it last night and tried to just wear 330, and as you can see, she's quite deep. So I'm gonna wipe this off. I will prime this half of my face and we will get into application. So I would say I put about equal parts of each shade in here, and I am a little bit more tan than normal, but not so tan that like 310 was never a shade I wore, and that's unfortunate because it does, like I said in the beginning, it does claim to be a full coverage foundation with SPF 50 in there. So if it was like a skin tint or something, you're more easily able to get away with a shade that isn't exactly your match, but like if you're putting on a full coverage face, like you want that to match. Like I don't like having to bring my foundation all the way down my neck. So I'm just gonna build it up. I am using a sponge. That's my preference with the majority of foundations. And I believe what they're kind of getting at, I don't know exactly, but I feel like this is trying to be like an IT Cosmetics. But I don't know if the IT Cosmetics one, I know they have the foundation and they have the kind of the tinted moisturizer. I haven't tried either, so I can't compare for you. I will try those eventually. So I can't compare to those directly, but I do like that it has a high SPF in there. That's very high. I don't know if I've seen anything that high at the drugstore. I still wear my own SPF. I'm not today because I don't on foundation review days because I am gonna do a flash photo test, but in general I would recommend wearing your own SPF in addition to foundation. I know some people are like so against SPF being in there and other people are so for it. I'm kind of neutral. It says it's supposed to be lightweight and breathable, but also very long lasting on the skin. It has antioxidants in there, so it's kind of trying to go for that skincare angle, but it blends out really beautiful. And something that I noticed about this the first time I used it, and as I continue to use it, is it just looks super smooth on the skin. Although it claims to be full coverage, I think it still has like a natural looking finish, so it doesn't like sit heavy on the skin. And I don't put a ton of product on. I'm not really into full coverage foundations right now. so I don't put a ton on, but I think I got like a nice strong medium here. And also I forgot to mention, you're getting a full fluid ounce in here, which is the average size of a foundation, and drugstore foundations are gonna vary on price. Like on the Ulta website for USA, it's retailing for $12.99, and then in Canada on the Walmart website it says it's $11.99, and Shoppers right now it's on sale for $12 something. So it's gonna depend. But yeah, it looks really, really smooth on application and blends like a dream. Huh. As they say, dream cover. I think this is the first time in the history of my oily skin diaries or foundation reviews that I forgot to shoot my before little head turning thing. And I don't want to wipe off all of my makeup, so I'm just gonna have to do a side-by-side of like me talking now with me talking earlier. I have failed. Wow, that is the first time I've ever done that. I'm pretty sure. My apologies. Hopefully that before and after was satisfactory for you. But yeah, I think it looks really gorgeous. Like I said, it looks really, really smooth. They claim for like a more natural coverage, so as you can see, there's quite a bit of a sheen to my face. I will let it dry down a little bit. I will now, however, take my flash photo, and I actually wore this out last night to an event. I was doing my last like kind of test, and I wore it out last night to an event, and I took some flash photos, so I will be able to show you that in action too, instead of me just standing in my bathroom with the lights off, which may not be that accurate of a test. I have an actual flash photo. I mean, it wasn't a completely dark room, but it was like, you know, a party kind of setting, which may be where you're wearing it, because I almost never get flash photos taken in the evening. So anyways, I am gonna go ahead and take some flash photos, and I will be right back. Okay, I pinned back this other side. I felt like it looked like I had pigtails in when I would like side-eye myself in the viewfinder. But anyways, I think as you can see in the close-up, I turned down my lights, got really close to the camera. I don't know if you can see how smooth it looks there necessarily, because you're obviously going to be able to see like any texture that's on my skin up that close, but I don't think it looks heavy on my skin. It doesn't feel incredibly lightweight, because I am used to wearing such lightweight products now that wearing anything that is medium or full coverage, I can feel it just a little bit more, but it doesn't feel heavy by any means. It just feels like an average foundation. It's not going to feel like a super light skin tint, because it's just, that's not what it is. But I think it looks really, really good. I was super impressed with this. The first time I tried it, I expected it to be this kind of moussey texture, and it's not. It's a little bit of a thicker texture, but not even super thick. Just, I was expecting mousse, and I am so glad that it's not a mousse, because I hate a mousse. But I really like it. The shade match is good now that I've created my own, and that's a big part of the flash photos too. It's like I could have maybe gotten away with the sun beige if I had put on a lot of bronzer, etc., but then the flash photo, I think you would have really seen the difference in my face, and I am really sorry that I have to mix two shades together. I know that's not really helpful if you're looking to match yourself, unless you want to go out and purchase two, but you know, like I said, 310 too light, 330 far too dark. So it is a little bit unfortunate, but I have no control over that. So talking flash photos, when I took my photo here in my studio, aka my den, with my boyfriend's desk right here and my desk right here, not a beauty room at all, in case you're wondering. Very, very, very minimal setup. But anyways, when I took my photo here, I think you can see there's quite a bit of shine on my skin, but it looks good, it looks natural. Then in my bathroom, I thought it looked good. I mean, considering it has an SPF of 50 in there, both in Canada and the US, like this is the Canadian version of the foundation, because Canada can vary a little. I think it looks good. There's a little bit of lightness to my face, but that happens a lot of the time with any foundation, no SPF listed. And my body is very dark in comparison to my face too. So I thought it looked really good. And then as for my photo from last night, I think you can kind of see like a smidge of flashback, but it's not horrific, and I could still post it on Instagram. So I had to like correct my red eye, not my like flashback face. So I thought it turned out good. Would it be like a top recommendation for photography with flash? No, but if you happen to be wearing it out from day to night kind of thing, I don't think it's going to be tragic. But something to keep in mind is also your concealer, your powder, all of that is really going to factor in. Very rarely does anybody like wear just a foundation with no powder out at night for flash photo. Maybe, I don't know, that's just my opinion. But I'm gonna go ahead and do the rest of my makeup, and I will be right back. Okay, back with a full face of makeup. As always, everything that I'm wearing is listed down below. I did want to point out three Maybelline products that I'm wearing right now that I really like. It is the Maybelline Superstay Concealer. I have like a full kind of tutorial / try on of this on Instagram, which I will link to down below if you want to see it in action. Then the Maybelline Master Chrome Metallic Highlighter. This is the original gold one, which is just so good. It is such a good highlighter. And then I also have a lip swatch video of these lipsticks. These are the, what did they call these again? It's escaped me. It was like, oh, Made for All lipstick. So this was the plum one in Plum for me. I love the red one, I love the nude ones, but I hadn't actually worn much of this plum shade, and it's gorgeous. Maybelline, I think, makes some of the best drugstore lipsticks out there. But in talking about the actual foundation, I think that it looks really good. It is really kind of like a flawless look, but it's not like super full coverage. I think it looks really, really good. My apartment is 1,000,000 degrees right now. Something is going on in my condo building where somehow it's getting colder outside, but we have no heat on in our apartment and we're just sweating to death all day. So although my face is not as oily as it once was, I've been pretty sweaty. So I don't know if that's too much information, but not only am I oily, I also have a sweaty face. So I will continue to wear this for a few more hours and check back with you in some natural light, and I'll see you then. Coming to you with my midday check-in. It's actually been quite a few hours. I was eating lunch and then I was like, oh, I'm hopping on a phone call, and then the phone call went on forever. So anyways, here I am. And I think you can see, like I said, the shade match looks really good. It has not oxidized in terms of primed versus unprimed. I don't see a huge difference. Maybe a little bit more. I'm wearing the Fenty mattifying primer, which I find to be quite good over on this side. It definitely, like I said earlier, doesn't feel like incredibly lightweight. Like I can tell that I'm wearing foundation, but it doesn't feel heavy either. I find as the day goes on, sometimes more full coverage foundations, if I get a little bit oily, I can definitely just feel it more. I am not going to blot. However, I will continue to wear it for a few more hours, and I'll see you then. So here we are at the end of the day, and I have a little bit of a sheen to my face. I actually just got in the door. I was out running some errands and it was rainy. I had my hood up, so nothing has really moved around in that sense, which is great, but definitely a little bit shiny. As I mentioned, I'm having a bit of a sweaty face day, so I'm going to blot. But for me, when things look a little bit shiny, that's kind of to be expected, but it's a matter of like, how does it hold up and how does it feel once it gets shiny? So I feel like it actually held up really well in the sense that nothing is moving around, and I still feel like, you know, blush, bronzer, etc. is still in place. So I'm just blotting with I think this is a NYX blotting paper, and I'm going to take that same powder that I used to set my face just to re-powder. I mean, in all honesty, I'm about to wash my face off and put a mask on, but I'll show you how it looks. I feel like it is easily touched up, and I actually wore this all day yesterday. Well, not like all day. I probably put it on at around 10 or 11 a.m. and then I had an event to go to, so at around 6:37 I kind of touched up my face and headed back out the door. That was when I took that picture that I showed you in the flash photo test. So that, to me, like I mentioned, and I think my last foundation review, is a testament to if a foundation can hold up nicely, if I can just kind of spruce things up at the end of the day to head back out again and not feel the need to like wash off my whole face and start again, I think that's a really positive thing. That being said, as my face started to get oilier, it started to feel more heavy, it started to look a little more makeup-y. Nothing major, but just not the smooth, super natural look that we had to begin with. That's of course also going to depend on the amount that you put on your face. I'd always put less than more, like I say in every single review, but I think it is a really nice foundation. I may reach for, like, if you have an oily skin type, I think something like the Superstay 24-hour liquid is a really good classic foundation. That's a really great option, or the Fit Me Matte. And then they also have the Dewy and Smooth, I think. So I'm not totally sure where I would rank this in the range. Like, I do like that it has SPF, but that's not something to like really make me super pumped on it. I love the initial application, but to me the shade range is lacking. I wouldn't go out and repurchase it solely for that fact, because I have other Maybelline foundations that I like, and I have a lot of foundations, so I don't have the space to be like holding on to two foundations just to create one face. So that is definitely a really big bummer for me. I do think it is nice, but on that front, like, I definitely wouldn't repurchase it. I'd absolutely go for Fit Me Matte or the Superstay over this. I'm really sad that they discontinued the cushion. That was like my favorite Maybelline foundation ever. If you have a normal skin type, I think, can you hear that? Some litter box action happening. I don't know if you can hear that, but if you have like a normal skin type and you were looking for something to perhaps replace, or you wanted to try out something that is a foundation that has lots of SPF in there and you're looking for an affordable option, this could be a great one if you have dry skin as well. If you have oily skin, I don't think it's going to be something that completely mattifies and, you know, keeps the oil away, and it doesn't claim to do that either. So I don't know, I'm kind of on the fence about it. If I had a shade match for it, I think I would feel a little bit differently. But like I said, I'm not going to be running out to purchase 2 of these. It would have to be a really, really good foundation to do that. So my opinion should only be like one piece of the puzzle when it comes to your decision to buy something. And I hate being like on the fence of like not absolutely loving it and not like hating it. Like I said, the SPF is cool. I love the way that it looks on my skin, especially initially. Even now, I think it looks good on my skin. I don't mind that I have to blot. Depending on your skin type, if you have a normal skin type and you were looking for something with a bunch of SPF in there, this could be it, or even dry. All of those factors into account, I think it's okay, but I think Maybelline could do and has done a better job on some of their other foundations. So I guess we'll leave it at that. So thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to connect with me, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at SamanthaJaneYT, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.